All right, so we're going to talk through the homework from this week. I've already done the density one. I uploaded the, whatever it's called, key, a picture of the key to your Wednesday folder, so before the lab you could review your homework. So the big thing is identify the variable you're solving for, and then I can just cover it up. So the first one, I'm solving for density, so when I cover it up, it's mass over volume, and then I just plug in the variables I have. For the next one, it's volume, which is mass divided by density. Okay, and then the last type you could have is you cover up mass and it's density times volume. Okay, so those are the three types of problems you could have. And then really there's not a lot of variety to them. It's just kind of plug and chug then. The only one to note here, number 3, is that you put a stone in water, it goes from 2 to 10 milliliters, which probably isn't very realistic. But that means that the amount it goes up is the displacement. So its volume is actually 8 milliliters. Then it's 5 divided by 8. The other one that maybe is a little bit confusing as we go through is 10 and 11. So which one is the top layer? It's the one that's less dense, which would be ethanol, since it is 0.78, smaller number, so it's going to float. More dense sinks. Think of like our air. Less dense air, hot air, tends to go up. Cold air, more dense, sinks. Last one, number 12. When I multiply length times width times height, like you did in your lab, you get volume. So 2 times 3 is 6, times 4 is 24 cubic centimeters. And then I divide to get my units there, 5 grams per cubic centimeters. Now, we're going to go down to our homework down here. I already filled in a lot of this just to save a little bit of time. So the first one says convert each of these to different units. So big thing to recognize is that whatever units I start with go on bottom. Whatever units I want go on top. When I go and look up here at what I should have filled in on my notes, I got 760 millimeters of mercury is equal to 760 torr, which is equal to 1 atmosphere, which is equal to 101.325 kPa, or 14.69 psi. So the one I need here is 1 atmosphere and 760 torr. Those are the two numbers I'm going to use. Okay, so I go back down to my problem, 760 torr, 1 atmosphere. So I take 380 times 1 divided by 760, multiplied by what's on top, divided by what's on bottom. I get 0.5 atmospheres. Same thing again, torr's down here, PSI is on top. I get 760 torr, 14.69 PSI. Multiply and divide. I'm going to get 7.35 PSI. Now, which pressure is highest? I actually only have to do one problem. So because 760 millimeters of mercury is equal to 760 torr, I should be able to throw out one of these answers right away, and it's this one, 350 torr. I can throw that out right away. So really, I only have to compare PSI to millimeters of mercury. And in theory, you wouldn't even have to do math here. 10 is more than halfway through PSI, so that one will be the highest value. So PSI is there, millimeters of mercury is on top. It's 760 or 14.69. And I actually need to grab my calculator in order to do this one. So give me 2 quick seconds. I wonder if you could hear my shoes squeaking. So it's 10 divided by 14.69 times 760, which is going to give me 517 millimeters of mercury. So the answer then, and 10 psi is the highest. That's tough. Okay, so 10 psi is the highest pressure. Highest pressure also means that it's moving at the highest speed. Highest speed, so that means 10 psi is what we got there. Higher pressure, higher temp. And all things else the same. Next, okay, I'm converting between liters and moles. Remember, moles is an amount of something. So every mole has a volume of 22.4 liters of gas. So how many moles of gas is in 36 liters? Well, it's 36 times 1 divided by 22.4, which gives me 1.61 moles of CO2. Next, I'm converting moles to liters. So it's 1 mole again is equal to 22.4 liters of gas, which would give me 33.6 liters of gas when I multiply and divide. Okay, so just kind of getting a general sense for how to do conversions. The main idea here is whatever units you start with, go on bottom. And then I'm plugging in numbers. A common mistake is people would plug like 10 in right here instead of 14.69. Now you have to have the two equivalent numbers from your given. It'd be like if you're converting 24 inches to feet, I know that there are 12 inches in 1 foot. So it'd be 24 times 1 divided by 12 to give me 2 feet. Hopefully that helps.